Yeah, it's how's the winter?
Well, then now I can't hear you. Son of a bitch.
Can't hear me?
Well, I can hear you if you're real close to that thing, but otherwise it just gives me a bunch of static.
Okay.
I
Well, I'll try to
try to play with it a little bit. If I don't understand
yeah,
what you're saying, I'll just make some shit up.
yeah. That sounded better.
Oh, there you are.
How about now?
Still got the static. I mean, when you're talking at the right point in there, I can hear you, but if it ever is a little off, I can't hear you.
Okay. Well, technical difficulties.
Oh, fuck, dude. I can deal with them honestly, it's just like you go to do something, you're just like cringing. You're like, I hope everything of this motherfucker works.
I hope so. We got the people listening, so if they don't work, we have to comment.
Yeah, maybe I can look at it on Facebook, see if it comes up.
Yeah. So anyhow, George is back. He's not dead. Um, well, I literally think that George is going to live. I have no idea. I just assume he will work in the film. I think that's
This is a mass assumption. Mass assumption.
complicated for Marshall God and George got caught with a year ago.
It's good to be back, McKinley. Good to be back.
You look good. You look like you're a kid. You shave the beard, fresh face. You look like you're driving sticker. I mean, you look like you're doing.
I appreciate it. And I mean, I really like my beard, but it wasn't as good as yours. And so it was just like I'd want some more like that mass. And I just
Yeah,
got a bunch of like Andrew Luck had a better beard than me, but I still went hard with it. But
yeah. Andrew Luck had a movie. Uh, I my cheeks don't get they just don't get a whole
it looks good shaved down there, like trimmed down to right here. I like it.
yeah, as far as I mean, I think I could go and play with this got everybody yeah, I can go through the day with 9
Yeah, and the office is looking damn good. I like how the recording studios turned out.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. A lot of money was the last time. I mean, a lot of stuff in
I couldn't hear that last part. Oh, I'm just glad to be back. I'm just telling you.
Well, yeah, it's good. It's good to be back. This is the first episode of 2021 for us. Boy, man, we got 2020 we got can't get the real out there.
I'm checking it out on Facebook, and you're not coming by as loud on there either, McKinley. I'm still I'm still checking it out on Facebook, and you're not coming by as loud on there either, McKinley. Donovan Shaw said, "Dude, you sound like a fart trying to get through a fat lady's butt cheeks." Donovan Shaw said, "Dude, you sound like a fart trying to get through a fat lady's butt cheeks." Check out your sound again. Can you? I'm just, I all I can hear is my dumb ass laughing.
I think
Oh,
I
that's
think
better.
I got the right microphone now.
That
For
is
now.
better. I can hear you.
There we go. There we go. All right. That
That is
fucking
way
technical
better.
difficulties.
Yeah.
You gotta love cowboys and technology. It's a wonderful thing.
And
Uh, what
whoever Donovan Shaw is funny.
I didn't I guess I didn't see the comments, but
That was awesome. I can hear you so much better now.
all
So
right, perfect. Good deal. I was trying to pick up off my computer microphone apparently, and apparently it was not so bueno.
hey, we got it.
A fart trying to get through a fat lady's I like it. This is why I have the best audience on earth. They just call
No,
it as they sees it.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
I
That was
love it. Thanks, Donovan. Donovan Shaw gets the shout out of the episode for
nice.
yeah. I'm sure I did sound like a very dry fart getting through a very wet fat lady's cheeks. So anyhow, the microphone is working, and George is back. How's the weather on the western slope? I haven't heard much out of that area.
Hey, it's I mean it's lovely. Like today it was 40 degrees and nice here in Loma. And I mean you would call it a drier winter, no doubt. But it's been kind of nice. And I mean, if there's been a little cold coming in lately, the moisture leaves something to be desired. And I know that we all want a little more, but in the same time, maybe it can wait and just give us May rains. And I'm fine with that. We haven't been hitting the haystack that hard back home, and that really helps. I mean, a lot. So as far as the desert winter, it's been a really good winter. I mean, the mountain pack little low, but that can always change. No need to get excited.
Yeah, shit. We've got no snowpack up on the Sierras right now. I mean, it is dry, dry. I mean that, and of course that can change between now and spring, but as of right now, it's it's looking like a pretty tough summer.
It is. But I'll tell you what, last year we had a pile of snow and it didn't make all the difference. We were still dry in the summertime out. And I'm as you know, glass half full type of guy. So don't talk to me if
Oh
you
yeah,
have a negative thought. But I kind of think we could be working towards a great grass year, at least around our area. I mean, if we can just catch those May rains, May moisture, maybe 2 foot of snow, Mother's Day, who knows? I think we'll just
yeah,
mess right into it. But I don't know if it's going to give us a bunch of relief in the high ups. Everybody's going to probably be getting those letters say, oh, you're going to have to reduce your stocking rate and all that stuff here pretty soon. But like I said,
yeah.
nobody knows how the weather goes. And
Those same old song and dance, huh?
exactly, you can do those letters, just act like you didn't get them for a while.
If you didn't really see it, it never really happened.
Exactly. It's a tried and true.
Oh
Been
fuck.
working for years.
There, there's a lot of wisdom that can be gleaned from the old movie of Road Trip.
Yes. I mean, yeah, if you guys need to go back, go back and watch it for sure. Just, watch some
I
road
mean,
trip and watch some John Wayne movies.
oh yeah. I mean, you could listen and read like pieces from Einstein, or you could get something that's applicable to the real world and watch Road Trip.
I mean,
I
it's your
mean,
choice. Free country. Well, it was for
your call. Your call, America.
Leave it up to you. We lay it out for you to play it out.
Hell yeah. So what's new at Loma Livestock? I believe you guys are still there at 1369 12 and a half Road if I'm not mistaken.
Still there, still cracking, still like I said, made it through the second fall. The first actually really full fall, full year. Learning experience to say the least. And like I said, couldn't be happy for like people who took the risk and signed with us. All our buyers, everybody been helping out along the way. Been a lot of ups and downs for sure. The market's been volatile. Um,
Yeah, you picked like the absolute worst time on earth to buy a sale barn.
I mean, we needed time to lose. I mean,
But you know why? Because George has always been the best middleman on earth. Like he's been the best wingman you could ever ask for
I
because he
mean,
always sees the upside of any situation. And you know what that leads to? You finding the best marketer or you're the best buyer for your cattle. And as if you're a buyer, you've got the best collection of cattle to select from to fit your program. That's what George does there at Loma Livestock.
I'm the meat to the sandwich, the mayo. And I mean, a lot of times it's felt like I've been squished between a couple of rice, but
uh, you might think we planned that, but that was totally off the cuff, and it fucking worked.
it, sometimes it just comes together. I mean, if you ever have a good run of bad luck, it's going to change.
Hell yeah. Well, we've said this many a time since we got started here. Like we are one day closer to a big rainy, wet, just glorious wet season than we were yesterday. Like I don't know if we're any closer, but or, well, I guess we're one day closer.
We're
We're
one
we're,
day
we're one day
closer.
closer.
You
Yeah,
know it is. And I mean, and this
it
is,
could be a long ways off, but we're one day closer.
and there's never going to be a bigger party than when it does rain. And even if it doesn't rain, I still want to do this to the year of the party. I mean, I'd have liked it
Fuck yeah.
with my man Trump up there, and I'm not partying because of Biden. I'm just partying because we got to do something.
Well, it's still America for a little bit, so let's take advantage of it while we
Up,
can.
drink it in.
I mean, we're probably all gonna be on a government watch list after inauguration day because they're really pushing this domestic terrorism thing pretty hard. So,
But what
American
is
ISIS,
this?
nice to meet you all.
It's like kind of like the National Honor Society. I never was able to make that, so at least he could get on like a domestic terrorism watch list or
Yeah, I know. Well, and if we are truly branded as terrorists, shit, we might get actually get some money from the American government. They do a pretty good job at funding terrorists. So we might actually come out ahead in this deal.
hell, we got to take it where we can get it as cattlemen. You know what I mean?
Oh fuck, man! Like nobody else is gonna give it to us. We'll take it as a terrorist.
You know what the hell? I mean, just kind of go on, do our deal, whatever they want to label us. You know, from year to year, we get labeled as different things, anyways. I guess 2021
No,
terrorism.
so it's this year they're merging the white supremacist label with domestic terrorists. So just so you know, this is a memo to all rural folks. We will now be known as white supremacists and terrorists, regardless of your skin color. If
Yeah,
you
I'm great.
somewhat
I'm raised by
yeah
Mexicans. I mean, come on.
yeah I'm half Mexican. Who I mean I got the stash and that's about it. That's all I
Yeah,
got from the
I love
Mexican
me some
side. But
tortillas. Come on, who doesn't like fresh baked tortillas and young?
yeah, but if you even once or twice thought positively about Trump within your lifetime, you're probably on a government watch list now. So welcome to the club. Praise Allah, all that
It's
good stuff.
gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. It's just like it's
uh,
gonna be. It's gonna be fine.
oh yeah. So you guys still doing two sales a week?
We went back, so now we're just doing the one on Mondays. And actually,
Okay.
we got a pretty good one slated up for day after tomorrow. We got another one of your listeners, our friends of the Crippled Cowboy outfit, Jen and Logan Hill.
Yeah,
They
Jen
got
and Logan Hill. That's Monday. Monday morning, right?
Monday morning. We got their calves, got them sized and sorted up and ready to go. They're all sitting down in this nice loam of sunshine. Well, right now it's dark, so but you know what I'm saying is they were soaking up
Oh yeah.
and they look good, sorted up, good set
Those
of
are
calves.
registered black Herefords. They're on the western slope of Colorado. They were considering submitting another small business promotion. Didn't follow through with it. So we'll give it to them for free. Because that's what we do over here.
Yeah,
But
we
yeah,
get that's a
uh,
pretty
Cripple Cowboy cow outfit. They're in. They had a Rangeley.
yeah, I think
Rangeley's where
there'd be
they're.
Rangy right there. They're in the book cliffs
Yeah,
there on the west side.
but
And
they're selling at Loma Livestock there Monday morning, 10 a.m. Mountain Times when they start. You doing feeders first, weigh ups after?
that's it. We've been doing, and we got a little bigger run and a few less way up cattle. So we might just to get them out of the way, start at like 9:30, sell the way ups, get kind of warmed up, get them out of the way, then come in with the crippled cowboy stuff. So it'll probably be somewhere around, I don't know, let's call it 11:30.
Nice.
And we got some good calves to go with them. I mean, we got uh, three good loads too out of Ely, Nevada. Pulled some cattle out of there, and then we got another two good loads out of the Book Cliffs of these McKechnie cattle. Um, Good light grass cattle coming to offered. So there's been, and we got some nice Gunnison, Colorado cattle from JL Viva, nice reds and I mean, you name it. We got even some from my mother-in-law there from East Douglas too. So it's kind of like a Book Cliff special, if you will. But and also good amount of cattle, anywhere from lots of 20 to lots of 70. So it should be pretty fun, and it's Martin Luther King Day to boot. And I mean, I remember in college, one of my favorite nights was Martin Luther King Eve. It was just a fun party night, and then the markets are
Heck
closed
yeah.
on Monday too, so there's nothing to screw around. It's just old school buying and selling, and it's fun when you have good groups of good quality calves. And like I said, we appreciate everybody that can sign with us this Monday and past Mondays. And like I said, Jen and Logan are great supporters, so we're happy to have them and happy to go to work for them.
Yeah, and if you are bidding on the Black Hereford cattle, remember we do not take increments of dollars. We only take increments of chocolate buttholes.
Oh, we did. And you know where to get them. Look on the show notes from the last one of Burning Daylight.
Yeah. We always have a link to chocolate buttholes here at Burning Daylight. So
Trying to bring in the new year in style. Don't be scared.
that's right. That's right.
So yeah, it's exciting.
And you guys are still going online with DV auction.
Still online with DB auctions. I'm the man behind the computer taking the bids on that side. So log in, type me a message, do whatever, get logged on. Pretty good
Yeah.
bidding. We got good fast internet there on our side, so it's pretty fast. Not a lot of delay from the auctioneer's mic right to your computer. So we keep it right there, and also if you want to bid, cool. If you want to just log in to check it out, please do.
Send George a dick pic. Totally joking. That don't do that. He's running a business. Don't do that. Send that to his
I'm
DMs.
easy.
Don't send it to the
The DV server.
yeah.
Board.
Don't send it to the live auction.
Yeah, you want to
Yeah,
send it
I
to
mean
Burning
you can
Daylight
DM
first.
him all dick pics,
Yeah.
but not to the DV auction.
Yeah, keep DV auctions out of this. They're innocent bystanders.
Yeah, yeah. Let's keep the wall happy. I mean, come on. We like we don't we piss off everybody else. We don't need to piss off the big players in the industry. We'll piss everybody else off.
Yeah, we're just working our way up the ladder, slow but steady. We don't want to
Uh,
make it over here exactly.
yeah. So I guess I haven't followed. I kind of get caught in the trap feedlot because we kind of like it when it's not um when it's real wet and you kind of forget about the outside cattle. And I bet even here we like noticed it's been real dry. And it looks like it might be like, are we gonna start seeing some liquidation of herds?
I I want yeah, I mean, as we're this dry, it's hard to say that we don't see a lot of that, especially like we were talking about with maybe the forest permits, maybe some of these different government agencies kind of sending out these letters saying, hey, we might need you to go lower on your AUMs and stuff like that. And as we continue drier, I it's too hard to fade that and say no, we won't. I mean, we have been fairly dry in the western U.S. for, I mean, you could call it really 3 years. I mean, there's been a couple, one year maybe that it's not as bad, but yeah, we could start to see that. We don't want to see that. I mean, we want to keep the cows in the country for sure. We want to keep that inventory in there. But there could start to be some of that coming through in the next 2 months. And I mean, I think you've seen the effect on it probably out in California the most is the turnout cattle there. The demand there, they've been wanting to buy cattle, but they just can't get the rain to help them out. And I guess as we come out of this winter and see what it's going to be like further and further, you could see more of these kind of liquidation uh, style deals. I mean, maybe not whole herd liquidations, but maybe people got to get down 20, 30% of some herds that are honestly not full stocked, anyways. They're
Yeah.
75% anyways. Not something we want.
Well, and I think a lot of people don't realize, like, like how devastating that drought that ended in 2012 really was. Because as soon as we got just a little bit of green grass, I mean, people started buying heifers like crazy. I mean, just buying anything they could. I mean, we were selling black baldy heifers, first calf AI bred for something like 30, 31, 3,200 bucks a head.
Yeah,
Uh,
wild.
I mean, it was wild what we were selling them for. And that that pasture that you're seeing green grass, but you're not seeing sod. You're seeing green grass sporadically. Like, that sod never really had a chance to recover. And and we didn't get like a true wet. And it's 2021 now, and that drought broke in 2013.
Yep.
But we really didn't have but maybe a couple average years of rainfall. Like, it was enough to you had some green grass, but that range never really fully recovered. And so when you throw a smaller drought like we got on right now on top of all that, man, it it makes a big difference.
Oh man, it does. It's been tough, and 18 was dry, around here anyways, and so then you got 18 kind of got out of it a year, and then 20 was a big drought year, and then during those whole times, it's been tough to market cattle with any kind of profit margin into them, and at the same time, all the input costs are going up all the time, and I mean this is pre high corn and high hay. But I mean, just your normal pickups, your tractors, everything else, they've almost what we could call almost double in price. But um, the the
Mm-hmm.
the cow price, the calf price is yet to adjust to that. I mean, there's ton of different reasons for that. I mean, or maybe explanations that people can try to offer. We have been trying to work through a heavy supply of cattle at that same time. So it's just like all these things stacked up to make a whole shit sandwich. And that's what currently we've been available
Yeah.
to.
Plus, we got this trade war with China too. That doesn't help anything either. Like we just opened up the beef market, and then fucking COVID hit too. So,
I mean,
man,
in
like just can't catch a break.
nah. And then now we're starting to trade again. And I think now we're might going to see some of the benefits of some of those trade policies, call it what you will, policies, war, or whatever. I think we can start seeing the benefit of some of that. But at the same time, now we got to go through a new administration change and see how what that's going to come out. But I mean, the dollar's weaker. Maybe we'll get some more exports going just for the simple fact of some currency stuff going on. And I mean, I've been looking forward to 2021 for a while. I'm an odd year guy. I was born in 85. I just like the odd years. I don't know why. So there's not a whole lot of scientific
Mm.
theory behind this, but I've been looking forward to 2021 for a while, and I'm hoping that a lot of the stuff that's been working against us starts to work for us as we get through the year. Like this high corn. High corn kind of brutal for sure in this term. Um, but it could take a lot of weights off cattle and actually kind of springbolt us into something better. But timing's always the issue there. Yeah, like anybody can be right if you just hang in there long enough. You know what I mean? Sure, my predictions will be right at some point in time, but I wish I could call it. But
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's what a wild time to be alive. Fuck
yeah,
it. It's and trying to predict anything right now. God damn, you're in like you're behind the eight ball like never before.
exactly. I
Uh,
can't actually give me an eight
yeah,
ball.
you got it. Yeah, seriously. Like if we had a clear shot at an eight ball, like you can might be able to make a shot right now, but like there's not even a clear shot at the eight ball. It's just it's like when they broke the rack, it just everything moved 3 inches and that's it. And you're just
Maybe
like,
we should
well,
try the
you got to
Ouija
sink the
board.
eight ball. Yeah,
Remember the Ouija board? That might be something.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. It could be. It'd probably be just as good of an indicator of what's going to happen next as anything else. Fuck.
No, that's it.
I did not see Trump supporters, storming the Capitol, and yes, I know there's probably some agitators that started that whole thing, but yeah, there was 100% some Trump supporters there in the Capitol building, and I never saw that happening.
Oh,
Uh,
well, and it's like in
Man, it's getting wild.
it is, and I'm telling you, I think that's just pure frustration boiling over on that side, and then to see how
I
I'm
think so.
condoning any kind of action because nobody wants to come out and take a step on condoning that act. But at the same time, I mean, I've heard this millions of times. I mean, what was going on in Portland and everything else for all these months, and but at
Mm.
all of a sudden, this is the
Yeah, they're gonna call this an insurrection.
yeah. I
Fuck.
mean, and some people comparing it to 9/11. I mean, let's pump the brakes just a touch on that. I think
Yeah,
that
yeah. Like some gal got shot. That's
yeah,
terrible. No, nobody
you
wants
want it,
that.
yeah.
Uh, some some police sergeant or captain or maybe he was chief. I don't know. But anyway, that dude shot himself over the whole deal. Um, you know
You know,
that's a
exactly.
little weird.
I don't want to see people
But
or anything like that, but 9/11 was a pretty epic
Yeah, that's what, like, let's put it in context here. Like, you have a disputed election is what you have, and if you're going to come crashing down on the other side, there was 74, 75 million people that voted for the motherfucker. Like, you might want to tread cautiously.
Yeah. And
I
I
mean,
mean,
and like almost all 75 million of those people are armed and don't
and
trust you. So tread carefully.
yeah, and I mean, and then they want to make it all about partisanship, bipartisanship, all that stuff. We should, I mean, all the stuff that we should have that makes the government go, but it doesn't start with a bunch of finger pointing. You know, if there's always a finger pointing out, there's
No.
one pointing back in, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just, and let's be honest, the circumstances to why we're here are, I mean, the vote count to everything else. I'm not going to try to blow any fan the flame here, but a little bit questionable. Like I said, how it was handled, the storming of the Capitol probably really hurt the chances of a good
Yeah.
debate or discovery of that. And I think, I mean, if people were to take it back, I think they would maybe show their emotions a different way. But I mean, it's there's a lot of stuff there that's questionable, highly questionable, I would say. And and like
Yeah, I think you're right.
and how does it affect going back to the cattle market and what we care about deep down at home? Um, you know, the besides the macro volatility that comes in with it, it's still got to be a supply and demand situation when it all boils down. And when we talk about dry western states for so long, I mean, I'm thinking sometime we're going to talk about supply getting less. I mean, less and less supply getting put on the market. I mean, and to be quite honest, it's been tough to make
Mm-hmm.
any money here too. So just the simple fact of going out of business because it's not profitable takes more supply off the market. And I mean, I think that's what we're working into over. If it's not this year, it's in the next couple of years. And it's just to be about if you can make it or not in your own operation, with the resources that you get, whether it be from the rain or whatever. But
Yeah, I think you're right, and that I think that's the biggest thing that we can take away from this whole situation here is, like, regardless of who's at fault for storming the Capitol, like there were some legitimate grievances on the side that actually, get, or at least gets blamed for storming the Capitol.
yeah,
There's some legitimate grievances that are not being heard, and there's not a whole lot of optimism that they're gonna be heard with this new administration, and that's getting ignored on so many fronts. They're using this deal there at the Capitol, which I 100% honest. Like, I know Trump supporters because they're the people that listen to this show, and they're not like that. They're like, there's some crazy folks out there on all sides of the aisle. Um, but the crazy people like stoking like anti-government type shit are guys like me that just sit at home. We'll talk some shit, but we're too busy to go do anything about it. The people that were at, it's hard to believe that they stormed the Capitol. I think there was some people that led that deal. No
uh-huh.
doubt there was definitely some Trump supporters on it. But I think more than anything, it's just another case of a voice not being heard, and that's what you're seeing with all the Donald Trump rallies. Is he's the only person I can remember since Reagan, and I was just little bitty shit when Reagan was left the presidency. But he's the only one that's really struck a nerve with rural people ever that I can think of, and that's why they support him. Like, it doesn't take much. You at least got to mention us, and we'll be fans.
Well, the rural people, and how about like down in like Miami with the Cubans, the Dominican Republic, the people
Mm,
that know how to live, what happens when you live under communism. I mean, he
yeah.
put a lot more strings with a lot of those people that people ever give him credit for, because I mean, honestly, I think we'll look back on his 4 years and thank him immensely for a lot of the stuff that he was able to do, even with everybody throwing marbles in front of him the whole time. And I honestly believe, no matter what people say, it's because he cared. I mean, let's go back to the processing plants when COVID hit and he steps into, I mean, at least incentivize them to keep running, say, hey, we got to have you keep running. You know what I mean? Can you imagine what would happen if Biden was there and that would have happened, and what kind of a further mess we'd be in? I mean, the plants have picked it
Oh
up.
yeah.
I mean, they've been killing right on through the second or the fourth quarter for sure, and starting off the new year pretty strong too. But I mean, that was a huge deal that put a lot of people in a big bind. And if it was to extend even further than those 3 4 weeks that it did, uh, the cattle industry would be even in a probably more painful spot. I'm not saying we're in the brightest spot ever right now, but it'd have been a lot worse.
Yeah, and I think we gotta give credit where credit's due. We're be taken seriously on any discussion. Like we've talked pretty negatively about these big Packers, but like they were offering their frontline people, their frontline workers, bonuses, like pretty lucrative bonuses, just to keep on the line and keep processing meat. And that's an admirable quality, because they like and shit got a little bit squirrely there for a minute when that meat supply line got bottlenecked. Like it got a little bit squirrely, and I know there's some shit going on with the prices, but like hats off to those processors that like they were offering bonuses for the people that were just like, hey, like we need you here. I don't care. Show up. We're gonna give you this bonus, and that says something, because they're trying to get meat out to people. That's as many disagreements as we have with that particular industry. Like credit where it's due.
Yeah, they kept it going, and I like I said, the Trump Pence team helped in there a lot, and then they did their part, and now
Mm-hmm.
they're killing. And sure, it's always the packer, the feeder, the cow calf guy. I mean, there's always going to be some arm wrestling in between the leverage that we get between the sectors. But I mean, that was something we needed them to keep killing, and we still need them to keep killing, and they have been,
Mm-hmm.
and all keep killing it. And the cow game is all a big leverage. There's only so much. There's one pie, and there's only so much of the steer, that gets sold for at the end. So it's all a matter of who has the leverage. At one point, the Packers had the leverage for a while, and the supply side game will kind of change that eventually. But they got to keep killing, and I think most of the stores have been full of meat since that initial kind of debacle, if you will. I mean, every time I go to the store, the counter's pretty much full, and it's been surprising to see how
Yeah.
good meat demands actually beef demands been through this stage. We haven't had the restaurants, we haven't had the cruise ships, we haven't had a lot of that stuff going, and still, I mean, they're still holding the price up there pretty good. I mean, we still want more of that money sometime to funnel down to us, but we can really be pretty confident with the meat demand as it sits right now, even from people cooking at home or whatever it be. Maybe we brought meat back in the forefront of beef, especially in the forefront of people's plates at home, or now if they start going up and opening these restaurants, and maybe even gives that extra added boost.
Yeah, for sure. And
You there, McKinley?
Getting people back in contact with their their food comes from, and you're seeing a lot more people selling directly to the consumer. You're seeing a lot more of the cooperative type stuff, and that all in all, that's all a good thing because it at the end of the day that benefits the independent producer because it's going to give them a direct access to their consumer and then they get direct control on what they're getting for their animal.
Oh, and even exactly, and even beyond the direct to consumer push, just letting people know that the people producing their food here in the United States are doing so the best way possible. I mean, the safest, the most humane. Even if you buy your steak at the grocery store, you get it from the local guy, or you get it from Jesse Stetson. Um,
Yep.
there it's produced with real people behind it struggling to make a living producing the beef or the other ag products that go on your plate and it's nice for everybody to get some of that recognition because when you're out eating the dust and fighting through or in the feedlot pens trying to keep those things alive or wherever your process may be on the food chain, nice to have some appreciation back to the actual people producing it and whether it be on the front line of some of the processing plants too. So it's been, I think when we come out of there and look back on this was a huge spark for beef demand um going forward.
Yeah, I absolutely I agree with that.
And shit, man, there'd be, we're not that far. I think we're not that far off from a lot of these, even liberal governors and everything else are being like, hey, let's, we, we might need to open these restaurants and bars up, or we might not have anything to open. It's okay. There we
It's
go.
amazing how they finally started saying that
After the
after the
election.
electoral college vote. Yeah, exactly. Which way, if you have been listening for very long, we called that a long time ago. But anyhow,
Yeah.
not to toot our own horn.
Yeah. That was the one to call. And I
uh,
mean, it just pisses me off that that was actually that speculation we had is actually true. I mean,
yeah,
it, you know, I
yeah,
mean, that's if you have somebody that think they care, the party that quote unquote cares about the American people, like the Democrats say they do, and to handle this situation and all the small businesses, how they have been handling it when Trump was in office, and now how we may see them change their tune now that Biden's in the office, really might make you question about who they care about.
yeah. They were far happier to let a hair salon fail, lose their entire savings, and just go completely out of business and go on welfare just to get Donald Trump out of office.
Yeah, I mean,
Like that's how it works.
I don't care which side you're on. Just look at that statement logically, and see what
Mm-hmm.
if that makes any sense at all. If you care about people,
Yeah, because all of a sudden they're talking about opening up, and if you go by the actual COVID numbers, we're in a like a spike
oh yeah,
because it's flu season.
highest
That's
ever.
that's when
And
viruses
the
do the
flu,
best is
we have
when it's
taken care of the
cold and
flu.
dry and yeah, yeah,
No
exactly.
flu.
So any anyhow, the flu's just not a problem anymore. But um, anyhow, how did the cattle sell this last week at Loma?
Actually, we got in there on Monday, and that was before the corn took a big pop. That next day on Tuesday, the quarterly numbers were out, and the numbers were a little more bullish. Corn lock limit up 25 cents on Tuesday. Kind of took a ding on a lot of people's attitudes, but we were good. We were pretty good on Monday, relatively, with these 8 weights, kind of in the low 30s, high 20s, low 30s on the steers, and the 7 weights on the steers are kind of in that mid to high 30 range. Our 6 weights were probably in the mid 40s. They didn't have as much push on the 6 weights. And when we got down to like the lighter cattle, there's still some demand on some of these lighter cattle that'll go to kind of a grass turnout. We kind of have a little more demand, especially in Loma after the first of the year, with mountain guys around here starting to, even though the grass might not, the snow level isn't what we've seen, there's still going to be cattle turned out. So, those 4 weights, those mid fours to high fours up in the 170 range and higher. And 5 weights were kind of anywhere in the 55 to 65 range. And so, and like those lighter cattle, the heifers were about 15 back. And the heifers were about 15 back, and the big ones were about, those bigger cattle heifers were like 6 to 8 back. So we had a good sale, pretty good demand, really, buyers sitting in the seat. So it wasn't a bad deal all around. And then we kind of had to deal with that corn adjustment on Tuesday. So we get to kind of see what it's going to happen on Monday with that, like I said. But Friday on the futures market, we had a pretty dang good day. We were up 2.5, and I liked it on some of the feeders, and anywhere from 80 cents to a buck something on some of the fats. So it was kind of nice to see some green on the board on a Friday, especially going into the 3-day weekend. One of my favorites, Martin Luther King, because Martin Luther King Eve is always fun. But it was really nice. And so I said, looking forward to the Monday sale, because markets aren't open, and we finished green on Friday. So it was a lot better than finishing red. So maybe cattle can find some love like these grains have. I don't know. And I'm thinking it can happen. So I'm looking forward to Monday again. And we got the crew loaded, rocking and rolling. We already got a bunch of cattle moving. So hopefully we can keep her steady, maybe even better on from Monday to Monday. But like I said, all in all, I thought we kept the market together pretty dang good, and for being kind of a new operation going in a land where there's a lot of old established barns out there, pretty strong barns. We're just happy to be playing our part right now. And like I said, the more cattle we can get, the longer we can stay alive. And so the hope that we can keep doing a good job for the consigners that come to us and keep coming to us, because we'd like to be here for a long time.
Well, you will be, because Loma Livestock, best goddamn tail barn in North
North
America. So
America.
if you're not consigning with Loma Livestock, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but whatever it is, it's not right. So
Come on. Help a brother out. I'm a
yeah,
good by Mexicans. How
that's
many of those do you know?
that's right. That's right. Um, anyhow, that's the market report for this week. Thanks, George, for if you'll stick around for a minute after we're done here. But thanks, George, for coming back in. We know you're busy, and you got a lot of shit going on there at Loma. It's just a tough time to be running any type of business, but especially a tail barn right now. So, um, yeah, go follow Loma Livestock. They would appreciate it, and I would appreciate
Absolutely.
it. And thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.
I truly appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna be moving this deal over to Patreon in the near future, because fuck Facebook. We're probably gonna get booted at some point, anyways. So we're just gonna start doing shit over there. I'm tired of giving money to Facebook. I know that's where everybody's at, but at some point, I mean, if we don't start preparing today, they could shut us off tomorrow, and I got no way to tell you. But we're gonna be at Patreon for sure. We'll be any of these new social media outlets, just look me up. I'll be at Movie Your Ass. I'll be on there. I don't know which one's gonna take off, but yeah, we the only way we get rid of this media monopoly is just to quit buying into it and do something else. So whatever that best choice will be, we'll figure out here in the next couple of weeks or months or whatever. But
And I just want
until they
to
kick us off, we'll
absolutely, and thank you for letting me
go
on.
ahead.
Thank you for letting me on and let me talk to some of your followers, and thanks for everybody for tuning on. It's been a fun ride so far, and it's good to be back to talk to some of you guys, and make sure you tune in, like I said, at lomalivestock.com. Come follow us wherever, and tune in on Monday and watch the sale, and let us know what you think and how we're doing, because we always want to do better. But thank you to everybody for listening.
Hell yeah. Now move your ass. We're burning daylight.
Let's get out of here.
You betcha.
That was a good one.
Hell yeah, it was. Hell yeah.
We got a lot of
Oh, dude, my
can you believe how many fucking people